Now I understand why it takes Rohan so long to start.
It doesn't take my long.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast. This episode is very special to us because we have some very special people in the room. We're missing two, but we have two. So we bless God and we give thanks. And we thank our special guest for tonight. But before we give a round of introductions, we will start the show the way that we like to start it. Let me just preview. Our moms are here. So let's Rohan's camera, perfectly timed. So we're gonna start with a shot and then we'll do a round of introductions.
Well, there we go. Oh, you can
Lots of wine.
Can I use my tea? Mom can use her tea, yes.
I would have used the
Cheers.
mic.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Wala fake shots na wala. Oh, I am.
I shot some wine.
My goodness. I had tequila.
Jason would be.
Chase with Guinness. I chased it with a Guinness. Oh Lord. Okay. To our regular listeners, you know that this is Ayana. And on the pod we have Jizzy. Giselle. To you. Sorry, Jizzy for me. Rohan and her mommy, Big Miss Bain, Auntie Alana. And then at the top, we have Baha and we have Auntie, Baha's mommy.
Sanjeev.
Huh?
Sanjeev.
She was saying her name.
Sanjeev. I did not want to butcher it. But we're happy to have y'all on today's episode. We probably did not prep our moms in, true mother-daughter fashion. We, kind of just did it. And because they love and support us, they came. But we're gonna, just have a nice chat, discuss, a few topics from our various perspectives and, hear the wise words of the women that made the fabulous women in this room. So
You're welcome.
So I think we wanted to start with some quick questions. So, moms, would you like to introduce yourselves by yourselves? I don't know if I did a good job.
You did a good job.
You did a good job. I'm fine with that, yo.
Okay, who's gonna do the questions? Who has them ready?
Oh, I'll do the questions then.
Thank you, babe.
I'm scared. Right?
Okay,
Does everybody answer or just the moms?
just the moms. There are questions directed at the moms. Really and Julie, we don't really have a role here tonight, is both of y'all. All y'all. Okay, so question number one from one of our listener viewers. Would you still choose marriage and parenthood now if you had the option of going back?
Yes, I would. I would still choose it.
All the time.
Oh,
Yes.
They like us. They really
Aww. Does it mean that they like us or they just like
they
being
like their
married?
man.
They kind of came with it.
You just kind of came with it, huh?
It's more than just a man. Without Rohan, I don't think I'd be who I am right now.
Aww.
You mean tolerant? Because I know the tolerance level had to be higher.
Oh, it's really
Oh gosh.
Next question. This question. Why did you decide to keep your child or children?
You want to go first?
I can go first. As much as she was a surprise, I know this to all of the people who are pro-abortion. It was never an option for me. It's never been an option. Even if whatever the circumstance, that would not have been an option for me. Yeah. And then the joy that is Rohan, Yes, that made the decision even better that I decided to do that.
What mommy really saying is a nice.
As unplanned as she was, because I tell her this and no, not that I don't, but as a young person, and I kind of had an independent way about me that I didn't really want to have kids. Yeah. But as you say, if you play with fire, you get burned. So I was willing to take my burn and just work with it. Yeah. Yes. And I'm happy that I did.
I call it Rohan Boone from now on.
Fire.
No, she played with fire and then she get burned, so you are burned.
For me, it was like, I'm always a believer that give your marriage some time before you have a baby. Like when I got married, that was 40 years ago. And over that time, we didn't have love marriage, we had an arranged wedding. And me and my husband, we were in Nigeria. And Bahar was like not really planned, but yes. But when she came, my God, she was a bundle of joy.
Oh.
And then I had Yubi, my second one. And the third one was unplanned though, but it came after 6 years.
We all know who KJ is.
KJ.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but as your mom says, Rohan, I never believed in abortions or anything, And after that, all 3 kids are really, really, I'm blessed. We are really blessed. We are really blessed.
I'm going to call you Blessing. All right, the third question, it came into my inbox, not into the Straight No Chaser one. And it actually asked, how long was your whole phase?
What is that?
What's wrong with your whole phase? Your phase?
Not your whole face.
No. Okay, I have to define whole phase for mom.
Were you a Trump?
Meaning like before you got married, or even when like before you got married, like you're dating or like
No,
so like mom's like what? And like how did you like court people? Like it might mean differently for you because you got not it's not offers, you got relationships that were offered to you, but you waited a while. Like
in my case, there was no face. Because we come from a very in India, like especially North India, like more of a very conservative family we had. Like we were 4 sisters and 1 brother, but then we were given full freedom, but also there was an understanding that we won't do anything wrong either. So there was like I studied in a women college, did my bachelor's there. So there was nobody to be whole-faced with.
She said to be whole-faced.
So like the parents, they found Sati for me, and of course it was my choice also. Was there that okay, I like him, or I can get married with him. It's not that my parents forced it on us. They always ask, okay, this is the guy we are looking. What do you think? So got married to my now husband, only husband, 40 years ago. In January will be 40 years married. Wow. Yeah. So that's the whole phase I did with him. For 40 years.
Okay, you don't have to say you did whole phase with dad, okay?
I don't know.
I don't know if I can
You put me here, now you have to listen to me now. Your fault.
Okay.
40 years, B. 40 years.
Okay. 40 years of a phase. I'm not sure how mine a whole phase. I dated one person seriously before Rohan's dad, and that was through college. And we talked marriage, and I was 19. I wasn't ready for that sort of seriousness, and so it ended. And
And she pick up
and then
that.
I met the best man, and that was it. End of my phase.
Well, you see, it had actual pickings back then.
But yeah,
You know.
yeah, I do feel a kind of way for y'all now. Yeah, it was so easy to find somebody and date somebody of substance.
Yeah,
I
that's
hope
tough now.
offending anybody. Yeah.
No, we
And if you are,
we're dredging through the trash. The 3 single gals.
So it was 32 years ago. Yeah. I met her dad, and and that was it for me.
Oh, nice.
oh, I love that for y'all.
2 years later, you drop up with a fire.
And then she get burned.
I learned.
I changed the name on my phone one time.
Diana's my call.
Now we have the rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
I've been muted this whole time.
We was just
Jan, so what?
What?
I was wondering, Jan, so quiet.
yeah.
Listen,
You know, whole-
I was talking to y'all.
Oh, yeah.
I was so engaged in the conversation, and y'all were responding as far as I could tell. We were talking.
Friend,
Oh God. Poor thing.
you okay there?
Okay, I'm fine. Sorry.
Oh, me and the questions.
Oh,
Yes.
I can ask I didn't know. Go.
No, it's fine. I got it. These are the ones that be sent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool beans. I don't want you to think about it too much. That's the first answer that comes to your head.
But
Question
they could
number
explain
one.
it too, though.
Pardon?
I said they could explain it too, though. Like the.
I could explain, but I don't want them to think about it
Oh,
too
yeah, not
much.
think about it. Yes. you're right.
Yeah, they could explain after. Question one. What is the most trouble you ever got into?
I had my friend sign against one of our professors in college to be expelled. We had a group. I didn't
But
get
explain why.
we had like when I was in college, so I was in second year, and we had this teacher who lived also in the hostel like where we were, and she was professor for like more than 40 years in that college, and she was kind of very nasty, not nasty, like she was a old lady, not married and frustrated kind of woman.
So like us.
Frustrated means like always angry with people. So me and my friends, our group decided to talk to have everybody sign the petition in the hostel so that she can be kicked out of the college. And of course, when it comes to time that when it goes to principal, all the girls who had signed for the first year, who were the newcomers, all the fresh women, whatever they call it,
Freshmen.
they said, sorry, we didn't sign it. We were forced to sign it. So me and my friends were in trouble, but of course, I was very nice, so they didn't let me do. They didn't do anything to me. I almost got expelled.
Wow.
Wow.
But it was funny because I've told my kids so many times this story. It was fun though. That's what part of being young and what do you call it? Naughty.
Naughty.
Yeah.
Well, I had a little time to think about mine, and I had to really dig deep because I'm kind of goody two shoes, but I'm not all that. I was about Form 3, Form 4, and my school had a school fair, but they were selling alcohol on the school fair. So my group of friends and I, we purchased. But the principal saw us, and he called us into the office the next day and raked us over the coals.
Oh,
But
Wow.
the defense was, but sir, you were selling it in the fair. We were just trying to patronize and be, contribute.
Ah, smart mouth.
Smart mouth.
You didn't actually,
A
you didn't
smart mouth.
actually drink it, so he.
Yeah.
Okay.
good.
All right. Question number 2. How have your notions of what it means to be a woman changed over your lifetime?
Ooh.
What it means to be a woman.
Yeah. So how have your notions of what it, like your definitions of what it means to be a woman changed over your
I'll let
Can
you
I-
go first.
Yes, please. So prior to having a child and a serious relationship, we were all fired up about women's rights and not having a man that, treat you a certain way. And in the first instance of any infidelity, you will walk and all that sort of things. And I mean, not trying to make any woman feel like they must stay in a bad relationship, but after children get involved and after a serious relationship is well on its way, a lot of things you rethink as a woman, and there's certain things. We are strong individuals. We really are made of a lot of hard stuff, and we're able to overcome a lot of things and forgive, and move on in some of the worst situations without allowing ourselves to be abused. Yes. So in my time, I went from so enlightened to being smart about how I operate, within the dynamics of a person and in a relationship and as a woman. Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I would say that kind of same thing, but when I got married, and of course, when I was the youngest in my family, one of the notorious ones, not badly notorious, like
You were, I've heard the
not
stories.
that way. I was very naive when I got married, and I would believe everybody and just get taken advantage by, people, relatives and all that. So I did grow up, I think, a lot. I've learned to be more diplomatic now. It was very hard for me. It still is hard for me. And of course, when the kids come into your life, your way of living changes a lot. Your perspective changes a lot. You have a daughter, what you can tell her. You have two sons. What are they doing with with their girlfriends? Make sure they know that they have barriers that cannot touch their girl at all. Which is never like in our family. It is very important for me to tell my kids, don't take any abuse and don't abuse anybody. My husband has been so loving for last 40 years. So I'm sure my kids saw it.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping that they'll keep on same, thing going on in their lives.
Wisdom, guys. Wisdom.
That's good. That's good advice.
Question number 3. Have you done something really impulsive, and how did it go? If yes.
I don't know which one to count. I've done so many things. I've done so many things, not like big things, but yeah, so many things. I don't
You could say any
remember.
one of them.
I don't know. I've taken a lot of trips with my friends, impulsive trips. Like, okay, we are going. We are 3 friends that are very close to each other. Rohan has met them, Manju and Rosie. And we are getting bored. Call each other. Okay, let's go to Paris. So and me and my husband and my kids are saying, Mom, what happened? I said, I'm going to Paris with my friends or next weekend or whatever. So these are small, impulsive, fun-loving things that I've done. And a lot more I forgot. There's nothing particular pinpoint, but yeah, sometimes I'm very impulsive.
I'm not at all very impulsive. I could be boring at times, as fun as you sometimes think I am. It could be very boring, and everything for me, I think before I act. So impulse sometimes don't really, yeah. I'm wary of doing things without having a plan all the way through. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
That's
Nah,
a good
that's
way
cool.
too, though.
Would you like to be more impulsive, Auntie Alana?
Huh?
Would you like to be more impulsive?
No, actually, no.
Okay.
I think that's a math in you. You're setting up
Calculating,
budgets, you're
yeah.
calculating things, logistics.
Yeah.
Okay. Rohan, be like your mother.
Oh no.
Question number 4. What was the first year of motherhood like for you?
Auntie Alana.
How do I explain it? It was good. It was a difference because I've never interacted with like small children in that time prior to that. I mean, I had Sherelle. Sherelle's not my daughter, but she's my niece, and she kind of grew up with me. But the interaction actually having Rohan also myself as a baby and knowing that she's mine it was different. It grew me up, but I had so much other support that sometimes I got lost as to who was in charge because my parents took over. and I had a lot of that. So as much as I kind of wanted to do things on my own and to just throw myself into being a mother, I still end up being mother, and and it was good. It was good support, but I enjoyed having that sort of support because it helped me to ease into that complete change in such a short time.
For me, it was like me and my husband came here to America in that year when Bahar. We actually came to America because I was pregnant and we wanted, to have a delivery in America. So Bahar was born, our firstborn, and unlike you, we did not have any support. Only me and my husband. So we were taking care of her. It was different. It was really different, and because I also grew in a big family, I had nephews and nieces in India, and I kind of knew how to raise a child. Of course, not my child because I was differently. Of course, those are grown-up kids now, and that time also they were 5 or 6. But Bahar was born, and then she was a colic baby, right?
Colic.
Colic. So we will sit down for dinner every day, and she'll start crying, and then we'll put her in the car and go around the city so that she goes to sleep in the back seat. But it was I didn't have any complaint about it. My husband was always there with me to help with everything. He'll change the diapers, he'll give her bath, whatever. So it was not like typical Indian husbands who don't help in, So it was fun. It was fun, and it was hard and fun, but it came out good. And then we had a second one. Then the second one was piece of cake. Okay, now we know what to do.
Okay, that's cute. Next question is, what were some of your biggest struggles or insecurities in high school or secondary school?
My
The memory flooded.
my biggest insecurity in high school is not being at the top.
Oh my God!
Not being at the top.
Yeah, like I would get nightmares if I didn't come out at the top of the class. Yeah, I had to be first all the time. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, my
You
mantra.
get a lot of anxiety. So then you got a lot of anxiety around that, Auntie Alana?
Yes, I would study all night long. Like, yeah, I remember one a Form 3 biology exam, and I studied all night. And as I got on the bus to get to school, after the bus reached a certain point, I kind of didn't. I went into like a trance. I didn't even know where I was. But I went and did the exam. I came home and I slept, and then of course, I got an A. But like, and this is Form 3, which is not really super important, But like, I I could not like live it down that somebody did better than I at that level.
A nerd.
A nerd.
A nerd. I'm telling you, my mantra was C's get degrees in university.
What was the mantra?
C's get degrees. I cannot force my head any further than it can go.
That apple roll far from that tree, boy.
Roll away.
Oh.
I can't think of anything.
Hey, next question. All
Blondie or anything like that?
Not that time.
right, this is a question that I want to hear the answer to.
Hold
Get
on,
up
I
there.
didn't answer.
No, I'm thinking
Oh, yeah.
in my college school year, like really, I don't remember any insecurities because I was friendly with everybody. Boys in college, like I was in girls' college, but in school it was co-ed. So I didn't that time.
Blondie.
No,
That's
that
right.
time I didn't. Now I have big arms, but that time I didn't have big arms. She always tells me you have insecurity about your arms. I said I do, but not that time. Yeah, of course, like opposite to Rohan's mom, I was weak in maths, and I didn't know what to do. My sister was excellent in maths, so when my final will be there, she will teach me. Like we will go over the puzzles. And ironically, I'm an accountant now. And I love numbers, This is that was the only thing I could think of. Otherwise, not really much.
My favorite question. What is the most annoying thing about Bahar and Rohan?
You can be honest. It's okay, Mom.
Where do I start?
Oh.
I'm gonna let Auntie go first.
What? Oh, wait.
What is the most? Not. Yeah, she does this thing.
What?
What do you do? Have you got Tina? She does that, when something gets stuck in her throat.
You know, you get allergies and you scratch your throat, right?
Yeah.
Someone would understand this. All these people on
I
this
know. and
show would
she
understand
started
this.
Like that sound.
I think Ron has a similar thing that annoys her father, but it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. See, my allergy people understand me.
Bahar, you wanna make the sound for us?
Yeah.
It's the,
No, that's not the one your father.
No, you're doing it slowly.
but I can't do nothing's itchy right now. Normally I'll do it.
Like a frog?
Yeah, she does like a frog.
That's what it sounds like.
But mine, it has nothing to do with the song she makes. It's what she doesn't do.
I told you.
And as every mother, do
Go ahead.
I expose you one time?
Tell people.
I would like her room not to look like a teenager's room anymore. I really would.
Yeah, that goes this side also.
No.
Yeah, clothes are still on the bed.
Listen, I'm not sure how I feel about this episode.
She's sleeping in my
I'm
bed,
glad my mother not here.
clothes thrown all over her. My sister would come from time to time and help her fold and hang clothes and stuff. She did it right before the August started. Everything that she helped her put in the closet is now on the bed, on the
In Rohan's defense,
everywhere.
in Rohan's defense, because we be doing a lot. And so we have to like make changes.
She's a,
Oh gosh, no.
You have a friend now?
I am messy, and that's okay.
I try not to look inside of them, honestly, but I know it's there.
You know what? I can blame you. I've had people like take care of my clothes my whole life.
Don't do that. Don't do
Rohan,
that.
you're not helping yourself right
Don't
now.
do that.
This is like honest to God. Mommy or my aunt used to do it for me when I was a child, and they used to baby me a lot. I mean, hello, baby me, that's fine. And then because we have the apartments, we always had a housekeeper, and she always took care of all my clothes. She did my laundry, like she did everything for me. And only know this housekeeper doesn't, I do my own laundry and, and my clothes and stuff. So it's just not easy to want to
Takes a while.
have to set myself up.
Oh, I came home the other day and she's like, "Ooh, I feel so good. I did one thing today. I washed the mats."
A win is a win. A
No,
win is a win, friend. A win is a win.
Rohan.
A win is a win.
My mats look great.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. But thank you for that, Big Miss Wayne and Auntie. I look forward to that question. Oh, nice question too. What is the most annoying thing about dad?
About daddy.
Oh,
Dad?
Yeah, about that.
It was
can you
You
get
have a list?
Where do I start?
Wow.
Oh,
But you know what? It has the one thing that he does that really, really is he goes from 0 to 100, but in the last few months he's mellowed. I think age has gotten to him.
We get that. We
For
get that.
nothing, sometimes he would just get so
Irate.
for like absolutely nothing,
And you're like, what is happening?
Like Rohan, I remember one time he threw down Rohan's computer and broke it up because she was playing music and washing the dishes. And he's like,
And
he
you're
was a lot stricter as an Indian partner, a lot stricter. He, about how we bring up Rohan and so he was very, very strict. And but as time progressed and Rohan being who Rohan is, he had to just conform.
He has changed
He's
so much.
changed a lot. So he, that was the one thing that just like, what am I for?
But he's mellowed in the last year.
Yes, so mellowed and accepting of the things that we do.
You're sure he's not pretending?
Waterboard.
You're sure he's not pretending?
Oh God, I don't keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually had this guy, we are
She
total,
said this guy.
we are totally, habit-wise, we are total opposite people. But somehow, I would say that, what irritates me, he doesn't have sense of humor, which I always tell him.
There's always something
I like telling jokes and he will laugh and he'll just like smile. I'll tell him, okay, now you really need to laugh properly. It's a joke I told you.
That's because she's telling dirty jokes and dad's not getting that.
And
That's the
dirty,
funny
regular jokes also, not dirty jokes. But otherwise, small things in the house, as losing the temper all of a sudden from 1 to 100. That is, I think, a common men thing. But as he's gone to this retreat right now. He's going to be
Vipassana meditation.
called
the girls'
Vipassana
night.
meditation, and he'll be quiet for 10 days. So I'm waiting for him to come back and see how much he talks now. Either he'll have a verbal diarrhea to talk because he didn't talk for 10 days, or he'll be a nice and calm guy.
so no words for 10 days. No,
No
No,
words for 10
no
days.
talking to anybody, no looking at anybody. That's what it is. 10 days.
Never.
Wow. Yeah.
That is something.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, I feel like I almost already, sometimes partially. I would go a week without seeing an actual person.
But is he surrounded by people?
He is
Yeah,
surrounded
no,
by
there are
people.
people there, but they
I don't want to talk to you.
they can't do eye-to-eye contact. They can't talk to each other. They can only
Okay.
talk to their teacher when there is a session in the evening.
Okay.
Only with the teacher, not with people around you.
I would talk to myself.
You have that. 'cause-
But he's a very loving, I would say loving husband and father. That I can say that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I could say the same thing too. And Rohit is so spoiled with Rohan that the simplest thing that she would do, and he's impressed by it, and he would just go and buy her every single thing that she asked for. Like, oh, why did you just go and do all of that? I'm so happy with her.
Yeah, we know the moves we need to make to get it's okay, right, bro?
This is smart.
And the last question is, what advice would you give to your younger self at the age 20, 30, 40, just your younger self?
My younger self or my younger one?
Your younger self.
Your younger self, yeah.
Now, like looking back, what would be the advice you'd give to your younger self?
I'll be more patient, which I am now, I think. But when I had, when we had kids, when I was working, both of us were working, and then kids were with either babysitter or, so I wanted some more patience that time. And there are things like when I was in 30s and 40s, maybe I should have concentrated less on the relatives, because we always had a house full of relatives. Always in here, like somebody always had a reason to come and visit America. And of course, when they come to visit America, it's not 1 or 2 days, it's 6 months visa.
They were maxing out that visa stay.
So they were maximum, minimum 3 to 5, 4 months was not gone anywhere. So, of course, those are our relatives. Our house is always welcoming people. So that's not a thing. But that, I would say that maybe we could have just set some boundaries for people who were coming that time, because we wanted to concentrate more on kids. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm so nerdy again, and I said this to Rohan just this afternoon, but I felt like I should have done more with my education, like doing a master's, get my doctorate, stuff like that before, because after you have kids, I mean, yes, people work and they study, but I felt like I would be cheating Rohan if I ever stopped to take on something for me. So I wish I had that prior to. Yeah. It's I see her, I mean, I'm teaching and I see the struggles of the students whose parents went away to do more for them, and all it did was hurt them. Yeah. So I'm very glad that I stayed. But if I had to tell my younger self anything, would have been to finish all my education first before starting off a life with children, because they need all of our time.
Yep.
Still do, girls.
They still do, actually.
Yes, they still do.
Okay. I think that's the end of our questions.
Yay.
Actually, I wanted to add one. It wasn't meant to be a rapid question, but it could be a rapid question. What were some of your struggles raising a teenage daughter?
Oh, we have
So
that.
a teenage Bahar and a teenage Rohan.
Oh my gosh, I have to answer this one. I feel sad for the parents who are having struggles with their teenage daughters, because this one did not give me a worry.
Oh,
Thank you,
Oh,
iPad, for the
wow.
zoom in.
Honestly,
That was well timed.
a worry.
it was.
To worry about her running around with boys, and not a moment of worry. It's only one time with the SBA, she kind of got so frustrated, and I said, don't let me leave this school and reach over in Westmoreland, because I can do it in a whip. Just get into your SBA.
I threw my SBA book. I was sick of that shit. I was sick of
And
it.
that was just one point in the entire teenage years.
That's sweet.
Boy, crazy after I was done parenting.
Okay.
How's your life?
Go ahead, Mom.
For her, actually, until 10th, she was a A+ student. And yeah, in school. And then comes 11th grade. You still have the same people, friends, but those you had good set of
Yeah, and I
friends.
had a good set of friends.
And then 12th grade, she picked up back, and she was given a car for her graduation, new
Mhm.
car. And then, of course, as I said, we were hardworking parents in the house, and like both of us were working. We started business during when it was a teenager year. Maybe that was a mistake we did, because we had one Subway and one Indian restaurant, and then I think that was the time when the kids were teenagers, and teenagers do teenager things. So, yeah, but the end of the thing is that they all came out good. So I don't have any regrets or anything. What kids did. They certainly knew the boundaries, no drugs, no nothing, which was one of our, especially in America, is one of the biggest thing. It is very common in high schools. So that part we were blessed. Kids came out good. All three of them are doing fantastic. That's all we need now. Yeah.
Along those lines then, so like we're essentially coming to the other topic. So like, what are your thoughts now, like as you guys see your kids, or at least well, me and Rohan, going through situations as adults? Like, you are being the parent, of course, naturally you are protective of us, but watching us go through adult situations that may not be things that you would hope your kids are going through. What are the, some of the things that you think about or struggle with even in those scenarios?
Something you think about that you are going through?
No. So like, what do you struggle with, or think, what are your thoughts when you see your like, when I go through like in my adult life, a situation that you would hope I wasn't going through? So like, for example, like when I got divorced, right? So
Yeah.
those kind of things.
Yeah, it is hard to see your own kids go through tough time. It's really hard. Don't make me cry now. You can go. I don't do that.
You're
I don't. Yeah, as there are certain things that I'm very grateful for. That of course, the divorce was hard, but at least she didn't have a baby out of that thing. It's going to be very, very hard for the baby. Between two different parents. That's I've always, even on my friends' kids, when they get married, I tell them to wait 2-3 years. Especially this generation, they have to be very smart that way. I know some people, they want it. Okay, we want kids now. We are ready for the married life and all that stuff. I understand that, but still, I would suggest. That was a hard time. In 2011,
2011.
10, 11,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was very, very grateful to God that at least they didn't have any child. That child would have suffered between the two parents. And of course, when the kids go through what they go through, I'm a very kind of person that Sati, my husband, he will just blabber out. Don't do it that way. He is very good at giving suggestions, but I try to give my suggestions like I'm more worry more than telling them. So, didn't want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I tell my sons, both of them, I tell Bahar, I'm here. We are all here for each other. But then, don't make mistakes your parents have made. We are not that we have made mistakes, taking care of the kids. We tried our best anyway. And just be smart, be street smart. We were not street smart. We were taken advantage by people, relatives all the time and all. So they need to be street smart, and they're raised very nicely, like they love their family and everything. So we keep reminding each other, okay, these brother and sister, the two or three of them, like, okay, they set their boundaries. Somebody's in their house. She just told me the other day, somebody came to Kamal's younger son's house. So she was there, the lady, and he had to go out. So he said, he called her. Oh, I set my boundaries. Told her to go and sleep at her house, I had to go and things like that. So I'm not very blunt at all, but kids, sometimes I see that they are blunt, which is a good thing to do, otherwise people take advantage of you. Otherwise, I think we're good. I don't need that much.
If Ryan is struggling with anything during while she was studying, she did have some struggles, and it pained me at time that we were here and she was in Canada, and at one point we said to her, because she went back and she caught a cold, and then her HB went down very low, and she was really, we video called her one time, and she just looked flat out on the bed, and we like, Ryan, we don't care if you don't have a degree or not, come home. This is it, come home with her father was like, you don't need any degree to be my child, you just come home. And she was like, no, I'm gonna push, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna finish. Yeah, she was determined to finish. So that was one of the struggles that she had, that being away from us like that and being sick and not having somebody to take care of her, and all she needed was to make a call, because she had uncles close by, my uncles, and they were willing to come, but she grew up so independent and not dependent on people, that she didn't really want to call anybody at times and just do it on her own. And it was really fun, really, really a proud moment to see her, evolve from being a baby. Because, when she left us the first time, she was 19. And in my head, sometimes I can't not see her being 19. But when she came back, and over the years, she's matured so beautifully into this, businesswoman. Still would want to see her be a little, tougher with her clients, and demand certain things, yeah. But she has matured so very beautifully into this lovely woman. Well, and my biggest right now, I mean, I want to see her find somebody of substance, somebody that she can, that like, I mean, as somebody as I found in her father, it's not, these days you can't find, see the struggles that y'all are facing, that solid men, upstanding men that willing to stand by you, and it's sad that our community seems to be lacking of that, and it's a struggle for you young ladies, or and you're not getting younger, and at her age now, she was already, when I was her age, she was already about 6 or 7, yeah. So I was a responsible adult looking after a kid, and and it's just, I would like to see her find somebody that she could love and can love her, and be happy with somebody.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I think the very important thing.
I
to
actually
parents
had
is
a
that
similar question for our moms.
Yeah.
Am I frozen?
No, we can hear you.
Not anymore.
I was concerned, sorry. But it's funny that you already kind of started to talk about it, but I wanted to know what's your opinion of, because we do talk about dating on this podcast in some form. So I wanted to know, what was your opinion on the way that our generation dates compared to when you were in, I mean, and I know that dating is different in the Indian culture, but I think you still see some differences in how it was when you were in the pool and what you see us go through. So I wanted to hear what you had to say about that.
dating, and when we were growing up, dating was very rare. Very, very
It's
rare.
more like courting, right?
Huh?
It's like courting and stuff.
Yeah, it was like parents will see somebody for you and then you talk to them, things like that. But it was not like, at least in our side, we didn't have that. I didn't have any dating experience, neither did my sister. But whereas my brother, he married to a girl that he loved when he was in the university. So it was like, okay, son can have a dating thing, can marry his choice, but girls, yes, we will tell you these are the people, so you can pick from that. It was different with boys and girls that time, but now it is same thing. Boys and girls, same in India also. Here, one thing I must say that, when you're dating somebody, give time to yourself and the person to know each other. Don't jump into conclusions. Don't just, okay, it doesn't work, let it go. Be mature to know what the other person wants, and be mature what you want from that person. Yeah, it's not that, okay, it's blind, what do they call that? Blind dating? No, the quick dating.
Speed dating.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't do it like speed dating. Try to get to know the person, and that's what I would say.
Yeah. And I would like to really endorse that, because that was where my head was going, is that we took time to know the person that we were dating. So you would be with somebody for years before you start talking marriage, and or before you start looking for somebody else. I just find the young people these days are too impatient, like, or their eyes seems maybe to be too bright, or maybe there are too many opportunities. I don't know what it is, but it's like there's no focus on one person for any length of time. It's like, I guess divorce and breakup seems to be like just another thing to do. So the longevity that a relationship should have, it doesn't, because I mean, before you have to think long and hard about whether or not you would go through a divorce or that sort of thing. No, it's like the paperwork is always ready. It's like they come into the marriage with a divorce paper waiting, to sign. So I just find people need to take their time and know each other properly before jumping into a relationship, into seriousness, or before start looking again. And the simplest things, they don't try to work it out. They just move on. Yeah.
This generation doesn't like to work on things. No, really, it is true though, because as I said, me and my husband are very opposite to each other. But when the person loves you, you kind of overlook the other things.
Yeah.
So that's what this generation lacks. They don't want to be to work out the things.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm never in the favor of somebody is abusing you or anything. That is different. But otherwise, everybody has bad things in them. Like we have so many our own, what do you call it, negativity or things like that we like to work on. So the same other person also. So make things work.
And that's you raised a point just so that I had to follow up on. It's like you and your husband, they are opposite, but and you know that he loves you. He doesn't have to say it in words all the time, but it's things that and that is not getting to know the person as a whole, because you know how they would respond to you in love and what their response would be, because you learn them over time. But so I mean, Rohan's father hardly ever says "I love you," and if I say it sometimes, like, "What stupid is you saying there?" But his love is to give, right? Is to give, tangible things and stuff like that. He doesn't really express it with words, but he expresses with his actions, with deeds. Sometimes he would go out and he comes back with the smallest thing. When we were dating, the smallest little thing, like a side comb. He noticed that I like wearing these little pins in my hair, and he brought one back, and we were just dating. He went and he bought me sanitary napkin one time when I ran out and I was home and I couldn't leave, and he went and he got that and he brought it back. Something that that a man might say that I'm too man to do.
Yeah. Go Rohit.
Yeah.
So it's just you have to take time. That is the essence of it. Take time.
Look for more good than bad.
Yeah.
We're trying, but it's a struggle.
I'm not commenting.
I think a lot of us are willing to take time, but sometimes we don't feel that the time that we're taking is appreciated.
How much time we have? How much time we have?
And like you said, we don't have that much time.
Time we have. Because I've been through a long haul, nothing in sight. But bless God. Bless God.
No, you know, sometimes
Okay.
what you're doing is not appreciated because you expect to hear for the reaction to be something that you would do, but you gotta learn the person and know what you expect is not what they would do because that's not their language. So you have to learn their language. I mean, and I read a book about the love language of children one time, and it helps in every relationship because Rohan would have known me as not a hugger, not a toucher so much, but she, on the other hand, her love language is to always hug me, and sometimes, y'all don't understand how much I didn't like to be touched, you know, like, and yeah, and at one point I was pushing her away, and then I read the book and I realized, okay, I have to take a deep breath and learn to allow her to hug me and kiss me and touch me. And I mean, she nursed for too long, but you know, and over time I've changed because I understand how she loves, you know, and it's the same thing with a partner. You have to get to understand how they love and be willing to accept it, even if it's not the way you would respond.
Yeah, believe me, I did not know my husband at all when we got married. I had only met him once when we, whatever you call it, courted, whatever.
Courted, yeah, agreed.
But after that, like we left India in 10 days. We were in Europe for the honeymoon. I didn't know how to do, what this guy is, and he didn't know me. And I would laugh at anything, and he will not laugh at anything. So, I learned, okay, he doesn't like, he laughs, but like he's very
He's a quiet
laugher. Yeah, he understands the joke, but he doesn't laugh like loudly like me. So things like that, you come to know the person, the bad things, good things, and you try to adjust with each other. I'm sure he has adjusted with me so many times. So it's give and take.
Write this down. Get to know them.
I have a question. Growing up, it's like when you were growing up, is there, or even when you got older as well, was there any ideology that you were very, maybe not adamant, but you were as you were thinking about raising, Auntie Alana, like Rohan, mom, me, and the boys, that you were like, I would not want to bring this into raising my child? So like maybe something that you guys witnessed, in your home or in other people's homes growing up, because obviously times are always different, that you wanted to make sure didn't translate into when you started raising kids.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, in our relatives, I'm sorry, I started. You want to start, Alan? I just started. So in our house, in my parents' house, it was always again house full of people, and which we brought it in with us to America. So, but otherwise, a thing was that our what do you call it? I totally forgot what I was going to say. Oh my God, my brain is gone blank.
It's okay.
What was I saying? Yeah, because we had people coming over, right? But then also we also had people taking advantage of, parents being, being parents, like stay in front of all the relatives, okay, beat you up and all that stuff. We actually, I'm sure my kids got their size of beating also. UV and Kamar and UV. Kamar did not much. Kamar was too young. Yeah. So of course now I think that was a bad thing to do, because when you're this was our situation, right? Like we had been working. We were newcomer to America. Then we had people coming over. Kids were young, and then you get frustrated. And who do you do that to? So I'm hoping that this does not come into them, or they don't take this with them, and with their kids or relatives or anybody. Don't let anybody take advantage.
Yeah. I think it was a similar situation when my mom always liked to take in stray. Somebody had a problem there, she would take them into the house. And I, well, for Rohan, as together as a couple, Rohan's dad, he kind of also faced the same things, and there was some bad issues, in the environment that he would have been in sometimes. And that's one of the things that he said, he will never have family or people just come to his room, especially as he has a young daughter, because things could happen, and he was very guarded against that, But for me, my mom, I mean, and it's funny and it's a joke now, but she she would when she gave us curfew and we're not home by a certain time, she would lock us out. She would lock the door. Yeah. And I mean, and the curfew was like 8 o'clock and things like that, And I remember I was dating Rohan's dad, and that's the last time she locked me. I was already working, big woman, and he dropped me back. We went out, and he brought me back maybe around 11, and her door was properly locked. And what her father would do is that when he gets home, when he goes back to his house, he would always call to make sure that I'm in bed, I'm settled. But so when he dropped me that night, instead of going in, when I tested the door and it didn't open, I made him believe that everything was okay, because I was kind of vexed with him too for something, So I said, tonight is the night everybody's going down, And then when he called, and my mom picked up the phone, and she's like, "It's not home yet. What you talking about? What trick y'all trying?" He said, "Well, I saw her go to the door, and I was hiding somewhere in the veranda. She used to sew, so she had a big singing machine out in the veranda. So I was hiding under that, because I said, I'm going to teach you a lesson tonight, lady." So she put her in the light. She came outside. She's like, "I don't know. I must see her." She worried. No, he's worried. He drove all the way. He was living in Lansing. He drove all the way back up on the western side where we were living. And both of them, when he turned up home now, and I came out from under the machine. Too big to be locked out at this point of my life. What's this now? It's got to stop.
This is funny.
That was one of the things I said I would not do to Rohan, after she reached a certain age. You have to learn to just go with the tide a little bit. You keep boundaries in their teenage years, but after they become young adults, and after college, you have to let things go and allow them to find their way, And so that's one of the things that I did not bring from my home from my parents' home to my home.
To be honest, I'd be laughing if you locked me out. I would sit in the yard and go live. I'd be like, y'all know this lady locked me out.
I had another question. Did you have a question? So my question was basically, what's something that you learned observing Paha and Rohan become the women that they are today? What's something that you've learned from them that, it's just a lesson that maybe if you could go back to their age, that maybe you would use? It's something that you've seen that they've mastered and figured out that maybe look back and say, I wish I had that, or I wish I did that,
Yeah. For me, it's Rohan's confidence in herself. She exudes confidence, and even if I was like a nerd sort of thing, but sometimes I lack this sort of confidence to speak up and to speak out about the things that matter to me. And she has a voice, and she's using it very loudly.
I would say the same thing. Bahar's confidence has rocketed like anything, which I really, really, really love that, because she says things on whatever is on her mind now. She used to not say earlier, but now I like it. you know. No, really, because like when we grew up, we could not say anything to our parents, you know, whatever they said, it was, you know, whatever. It was. So that I wish I had that confidence that time. And but she is really something now. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, mommies.
I have a question. So I think society-wise, it tends to be, I personally think that a lot of pressure gets put on women, right? So when it comes to raising children, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to relationships, like it's almost like that narrative of like the woman has to put almost everybody else before them, right? Before them, if it's their parents, if it's their siblings, their boyfriend or a girlfriend, husband or a wife, and then of course children. At what point do you consider, not what point do you consider mental health, like what were things that you do or maybe wish you could do or could have done in the past or are doing now, or even advice for women now around, you know, maintenance of like their mental health? Like, is it something that you feel like you're doing really well today? And if so, like what are those things that you're doing? Or is it something that you wish that you want to focus on moving forward as you all kind of transition from being responsible for so many people throughout your life? And then anybody want to go first?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay.
But as far as a mother, I don't think one can ever stop worrying about kids, even if you are in your 60s or 70s, if we are alive that time. So as far as a mother, I think that thing, that tension is always there, even if the kids are doing beautifully and they're very, very well settled. Because, you know, as you said, when Rohan was in Canada and she got fever, things, small things, those things will never go away, right? And then as far as your partner, of course, you go through like how to understand your partner. You know, we like when we were growing up, there was nothing like mental health thing that time. There was no concern about, there was nothing like anxiety. They never talked about stress, anxiety, mental health. These things we started hearing now, right? Of course, you learn to deal with your problems, stress, and that's what basically I did, because slowly and slowly, what do you call it? I think I'm getting much, like earlier, I will not think of doing anything without telling my husband, you know, like making my plans without telling him. But now I make my plans and tell him, okay, these are my plans. And same thing with kids. Like, I think I'm opened a lot with you guys, you know, over the years, a lot. And of course, there are always times when you say, okay, you're blocked, you know, you're in somewhere in the thing, but then you learn to deal with it and you talk to people, you talk to each other, you know, you talk to your spouse, you talk to your kids, and that's how it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in my case, I think women, we have to always make time for ourselves. And as Mom was saying, that you put everything in front, you put everybody in front of you, and you know, but you have to. It is important to have girlfriends.
Yeah.
As women.
Yep.
Your girlfriends or your stay in house, you know, like you see how you girls will just take a day and go to the spa and stuff like that. That is important to keep you in a safe place, you know, a mental check. And good girlfriends, not ones that, you know, will cut you at a moment's notice. But girlfriends that have your back, that will be there for you, that you can tell your deepest stories to, and you wouldn't hear it all over the social media, you know, that sort of thing. So you need that sort of community in your effort to have a clean mental bill, you know that helps a lot. So that's your sort of your de-stressor. Yeah, as much as you have husband, you have children, and they love you and you love them, but having
Have to
girlfriends,
have me time, yeah.
important, very important. So I applaud you girls for having each other's back and front side and
And she goes, oh, just kidding.
You're welcome, Rohan, B, and Ayana.
everything.
Oh,
Yeah, in my house, there's always a complaint. My kids complain, my husband, Mom, you're always going with your friends. Why don't you go with dad? And this time I said, okay, I'll go with your dad. So we went for a month to Europe. I said, now I'm done with you for a few years.
Wow.
A little bit of context. So they go
I
on a
love
trip.
it.
They go on a trip at least once a year, like a big trip. Her and her two best friends, and it's always been Vegas is usually a March thing, and then they started doing Europe. So my complaint, because I mean, my dad's a teddy bear, to be truly honest
right.
here, and
Like
so
you.
I did say, I was like, Dad, we haven't done like a big trip with Dad in a long time. Normally, when we've done trips, it's been like the full family, and it wasn't her and Dad for a while, and so that's the context. I was like, well, just because it was a conversation of like, my dad's like, well, I want to see this, and Mom's like, oh, I've already seen that, and then I said like, well, you haven't seen it with him, so go. But yeah, that is.
Yeah, I had to see a lot of things this time, which I had already seen. I didn't want to. It was fun. Yeah. You have to have friends. You have to have good set of friends to, to have that.
And I mean, I'm hearing that you have girlfriends and you've had them all, and that's really, really, really good. I've had girlfriends, but as in school, and then we all went separate ways. But everyone is so beautiful now that we're finding each other again, and we're starting to plan trips. And I've already gone to see one, and one come by me, and so we're trying to pull all of together, and because I'm going to retire before I'm 60. I'm not going to wait till then. So I want to kind of be spontaneous for the next 3 years ahead of me. And just, Nothing for you.
A little impulse.
No,
Do
planned.
stuff
She's
with my
gonna
girlfriend.
plan her impulsivities.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And do stuff with my
I like
girlfriend,
that.
because we have missed each other. I mean, we did not miss a beat in finding each other again. As soon as Auntie Sally, we're back as we used to be back in high school. You all know Auntie Sally, Amy's mom, right? We back as we were in high school, and my friend Lorna she's in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Allison has been coming often. She's in New York, and so we're finding each other again. Heather is right here. That's Uncle Waggy's wife. She's right here. So we will meet and talk from time to time. So we are finding each other again, and it's gonna be a fun ride, not a bumpy ride, a fun ride for the
There you
next
go.
week.
I look forward to the stories.
Look forward to it.
Put it on the social media.
Coming for them. Any more questions we got, girls?
I don't have any.
I don't have any questions. I just thought it was really sweet how nicely you spoke of your daughters, and in Auntie's case, her children. And I like that you spoke nicely of us too.
I mean, this really was a special episode. It was lovely
It really
hearing
was.
your
Yeah.
perspectives.
Yeah.
I think we might have some patience now with not just y'all, but like with dating.
Yeah.
Find some patience.
I mean, it's hard. It's really hard. I don't know. I don't know if we're maybe experiencing the same things that women before us have experienced, and we're just, as you say, impatient and not dealing with it the same way. But I feel like it couldn't have been this bad.
Yeah, it's a different breed.
So
It is a
bad.
different breed. My particular brand of fight up right now is
Like I
I
am
have- I have
so sorry
patience.
for myself.
I can say that I have patience. I can say that my friends have patience. We really do encourage each other in the right way, But I think that sometimes is the individual, whoever the individual is in a particular situation, they kind of work against themselves
Yeah.
because I think that we do give each other good advice outside of the nonsense.
I don't even think they work against themselves. It's like so many people in our generation just there isn't a reciprocal interest in settling and dating. More people are drawn to temporary arrangements, more open, loose arrangements, or just no arrangements at all. I feel like so many people in our generation just, don't want to get married or don't want to have kids. And
They
I
don't
think
want to commit.
there's a space. I mean, yes, it's nice that we
I don't fully agree with this statement. I think that they like to appear that they don't want those things.
Because it's so hard to find somebody that they want to just appear like, it doesn't matter to me,
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
one of the things I noticed about this generation is that they don't want any label.
everybody wants to be ambiguous. Nobody
Yes,
wants to say
there's
who they're with.
nobody to have to have a label and say this is my girlfriend or this is, they leave everything so open so that because I think it's like they're not satisfied. And you know something, when you're out there looking for a relationship or looking for somebody, if you're dating somebody that you're not happy with, you're not happy with that person, you're not going to settle down with that person. So you have interest in dating other people. But when you find that person, you'll have no interest in seeing anybody else. And I think maybe that is what the problem seems to be is like you're not finding your person. Because I mean, while I was dating the previous person before I met Randstad, I kind of my eyes were still open. I kind of was still looking, because in the back of my mind, I knew I didn't really want to settle down with this person. But when I met her dad, it's like, I don't want to look anywhere else. I'm done. This is it, And I never really looked at anybody else since then, So it's like,
Daddy, give it a catch.
That's why I think, I was like, I'm gonna write it on my sign and say,
Standing outside the door, or
That's all I got up.
what he gave us something to eat. Oh yeah, we had to eat.
he made curry for me the first few months we met. He made curry and he fed me with his hand.
Daddy, you're gonna catch me. Oh my God.
Writing that down. So is it curry and let him feed you?
Yeah, with his hand, yeah.
With his hands.
What do you call him again?
Sunny.
Hands.
Noted.
Not a utensil.
It's sitting here.
No,
taking
no,
notes,
no.
Hands.
Yeah.
huh?
Got you. God. You.
And you have to, I'm not telling you all to be like placemats or carpets for men to walk over, but he would always make the comment sometimes, you stop bringing water. Because when he comes to visit, sometimes he is in the living room and I bring a meal frame in the living room. And then when he's done, I will bring a bowl of water for him to wash his hand and a towel. And
That is too cute.
That's so cute.
But it was reciprocal. He did stuff like that for me, so I didn't have a problem doing that. So you have to be sweet sometimes.
Well, you hear that?
Only thing Rohan tried to somebody is a glass of wine, maybe.
Wash your hand.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know about that level of sweet dog. I don't know about that. I could try to smile at you.
Lime lemon in the water too.
That's proper thing.
So wash his hands.
Giselle, wash his locks.
Wash his locks.
Wash his locks.
Right.
In a river?
Perhaps maybe with mango and orange and stuff. I don't know. Keep it natural.
Lemongrass.
Lemongrass.
To our listeners who can't see what's happening right now, Giselle is making a production of taking notes.
I have my handy dandy pen and my handy dandy
She
notebook.
has written down all the notes, and we will update you on if the advice has worked. So when you see Empress Queen Giselle step out, then you know.
No, but the day all you hear me say I wash a man's hands, honestly, check and see if I okay.
You don't wash his hand, you bring a bowl so he can wash his hand by himself. You just bring in a bowl. You just carry stuff to him. Instead of having him go to the bathroom, you just bring the stuff and he wash and wipe and right there. And you don't have to be a doormat or, you don't have to feel like that. It empowers you. It empowers you. I had a pastor's wife once said to me, we worked today, she's like, you have to do all these things for your men and what, you don't even have to ask them for things, for them to do stuff for you. They do it because you do so much, they would reciprocate, likewise.
So it's the reciprocity.
Yeah.
Is what
Y'all know that these guys are going to look at me like, you okay? Because even in my house, they just go and get drinks for me. No, but it's true though. It's
For
true.
you and your friends.
Yeah, just glass, ice, drinks. Okay, cool. All right, so server man. So
They never said that.
I know, they did not say
no, but that's what the pastor's wife said. You had to do all these things.
Yeah, you do.
But just
exactly
paraphrasing.
that, yeah.
I think, basically they're just trying to say, be nice.
Yeah.
Be
Giselle, write that in bold.
yes,
Yes.
nice. All the time.
The problem with Giselle is that the meaner she is, the more she likes the person.
Yes.
The more they like
I
it,
have a playground kind of
Yeah.
interaction.
If somebody, she's a whole motto of like, if somebody's teasing you, that means they like you. That's Giselle.
that's
Yeah. Okay.
So.
I mean, there's some truth in that too. There's some.
Stop what you're doing. That's my personal note. I'm sorry. Oh, but this is cute.
This is
This
great.
is cute. Mommies, do you have any other things that you want to say to us or other mommies? I know my mom could not be here by design. By design. By design. I'll be real upfront with y'all. This is not the forum for her. Oh, it was not the forum because she would talk about Idris Elba and it would embarrass me and I can't do it.
but
She
that's
would-
our good husband. What's wrong with you?
That's understandable, but then she would talk about the bath water and I don't want to hear that again.
My
So-
mommy is designed similar to me.
Oh.
Fall asleep very early, so that was not happening.
And because Rohan just told her mom, my mom once said, and I think in the presence of a friend of mine, or I just related to him afterwards,
No, she said it on Facebook.
she said it on Facebook,
It was me and her interacting on Facebook.
the bath water.
I'm pretty sure.
I know she told you that she would give us up to have him without me and my sister, without a problem.
She'll share him with me.
Yeah, she would give me and my sister up to get Idris Elba for Christmas. She's like, what do I have to do? But she also mentioned that she would drink his bath water.
Ew.
And I don't, you see,
Bath water. Eat yourself.
But that's just a thing you say, like, mommy.
I know.
would
It's
say,
not you're gonna do
"I think
it.
It's so cute. I just suck him up with a biscuit.
Suck him up with a biscuit.
yeah, because that means that, he's saucy. She said bath water, dog. That just,
With a straw.
oh. But I understand that my mother is me and I am my mother when it comes to those things. But yes, any advice for the young mothers, for the young children, for the older children, for anybody?
For us.
as mothers, as women, for us, you know.
Well, I mean, for young mothers and young women, foster a good relationship with your daughter. That you're not just having a child; you're making a friend for life. You
Aw.
foster a very good relationship with your daughter.
I agree.
That's
with that.
all the advice.
That's sweet. Auntie?
Same, I said. Otherwise, also for the dating part, don't be scared of commitment. You know, if you commit,
That's for the boys.
yeah, for both of you, everybody, both partners, not only boys.
Sorry. That's for
That
everybody.
what is lacking these days. Kids don't like to commit. You know, both everybody is financially working, girls and boys, so they don't want to commit. So you know, there are a lot of good partners out there. You'll find. Just be ready.
Yes, be receptive. I think that's probably what it is. You have to be receptive.
Be
Really.
Giselle,
Right?
on a serious note, Giselle, can you email me those notes?
Boo, I got you. I got all of us besides
Thank
me, but
you.
I send it to B still, just to be included.
Thank you.
Thank you, mommies.
Thank
It was so great to have you on.
you.
How did it feel to have your moms here, Baha and Rohan? I mean, considering how our conversations can get, were you nervous? How do you feel?
I mean, I wasn't nervous because I feel like, I mean, when we record our conversations, mom's literally in the room downstairs. I think they can hear us. I mean, I was more because mom's normally is very talkative, but I know she can get shy, but she didn't. She's very talkative today. So I think that was where my nervous came from.
I'm a shy person.
When you start, oh no, they've all seen you at the wedding. Giselle's seen you through video and in Grenada too. So
Oh yeah, Grenada was fire.
yeah, they
Auntie
met
is
you
not
in
too
Grenada.
shy.
Yeah. So yeah. But no, I think I wasn't actually nervous at all. I was excited for this episode today. So, and it was much more than what I expected it to turn out to be.
It really was.
Yeah, same here. I was a little nervous with mommy at first, just because like she wasn't feeling 100%, and like she started asking a whole lot of questions, and I was like, she feels a little nervous.
Mom's like, what are you asking us? What are we doing? What are you, okay.
In my defense, I wasn't nervous about being and chatting with you. To be honest, I think I'm in my early stages of the pause.
The pause.
Yeah, and I know what to expect, and so it's not catching me by surprise. But it's just little things like my mood is kind of like a downer right now. Yeah, and I feel apprehensive about a lot of things right now, and unsure, but I know the thing is I catch myself every time I'm like from slipping into a sort of depressed kind of mode because I know that what to expect. I'm not getting any of the hot flashes and the crazy thoughts or anything like that, but like I could feel my happy place getting sucked a bit. But I know what it is, and I would always roll myself out of it before it pulls me all the way. Yeah.
Self-awareness.
Do you think there's enough support for women when we get to you seem very self-aware, and I appreciate that, but I don't think a lot of like I for one don't know what to expect.
I read a lot, and then because I have a lot of sisters, and I saw them go through certain things, and then I teach, and the people I have they're older persons at my workplace, older than I am, so I've seen them go through, and we speak about it. We're very candid about it, and we laugh about it, and that's because all y'all are around the same age. Y'all will probably start going through, and that's the support that you would need. Because a couple of years ago, I was asking my friends, so something wrong with me? How come I have not started this process yet? All of y'all have started. Why am I being left behind? So much younger than you? What is going on? So I kind of had, I was prepared. I was prepared mentally and with knowledge and everything.
I think it started happening through the pandemic when you were home.
Yeah.
So I feel like he could have processed it maybe
Yeah.
a little bit easier because he didn't have to be out in the world too much,
Yeah.
figuring out, especially in the heat. So
In the, yeah, I'm not getting all the heat moments and I think it's
I'm
more
getting
like
hot
the
flashes.
psychological part of it. You know, where
You've
you
been going through menopause since I met you, Ero, so
yeah, I think she's going through
Bro,
it.
don't worry, I'm there with you. I'm the person who is drenched in sweat. I mean,
That's just crazy.
maybe not drenched in sweat, but definitely always hot.
Yeah. Is it a testament to who you are, your persona that you're just
No, the temperature, I can't. Sometimes I can't do it. It's whew, that hot.
So it's just a psychological aspect of it, I think I am beginning to. And then, you know, maybe it's not even that. It's probably just, you know, when you reach a certain point in your life, you kind of question, did I do the right thing? Have I done all I should have done? You know, where do I move forward? What's my next step? I'm talking about leaving teaching. And I think that is where my biggest insecurity comes. Is like, I'm ready to leave, but I'm not sure I know what I want to do next. Yeah. So I'm kind of a little bit always in my head of that.
Travel.
Yeah.
Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, ladies. Good to see you
it
guys.
was a cute episode. I really loved it. And I think now we should do something similar again to involve the mommies.
Yes.
Maybe have them drink some more.
Please don't forget because there was a father in this
That
setting when
is
he heard that I was going to be and they were going to have mothers on. He said, so what happened to the fathers? We getting left out.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, it's we could possibly. I don't know. My daddy have the internet. My daddy used to send me regular text messages.
My dad will just go on tangent stories.
Regular
Huh?
text.
Like, I know my dad will just go on tangent stories and no one will get a chance to speak.
And that's the kind of thing I like. I will be listening intently.
He's so
But maybe we really should look into that.
That's a lovely idea.
But I wish I was like in the same place with y'all so that I could give y'all hugs because I really enjoyed it.
Aw.
It was
Thank you so
great.
much.
Cheers to the moms.
Cheers to the mommies.
Do we have more drinks? Cheers to the moms.
I appreciate you all thinking about involving mothers. I mean, I have never even peeped my head in while Rohan was recording any night. So I had no idea what your broadcast spoke about.
Oh, this is not it, eh? We were on our best behavior tonight.
Mommy, don't even try to listen. Don't even. So
That one next year. She didn't talk at all
Quiet
tonight.
tonight.
Very quiet.
So quiet, Rohan.
I
It's a for kid. A for kid.
Nobody knows how I talk, but like, you know, sometimes you have to still keep that parent child type of vibe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rose being very bashful tonight.
very. Ayana too. But also, I guess it's out of respect for, and the topics didn't require
The mouthiness. Of
Yeah,
the level of fortitude or language and mouths have.
there you
And
go.
also, for many parts of the conversation, I was on mute and didn't know.
No, that I'm gonna have Derek put out a clip of that, huh?
Oh my
I really hope because
Oh,
That
but
would
this
be
is
funny.
great.
it really was.
I'm going to attempt to close us off, but if I fail, I trust that Rohan, Giselle, and
And
Baha
my hand on my nose, dog.
would support me. I
You
can't
closing us
support
out, Giselle.
myself.
You
That
closing us out.
defeats the word. So y'all have to come on, guys. I'm gonna close us.
Yeah.
Just,
We'll
you
do
know,
it.
It's not closing, friend.
You have been listening to the Straight No Chaser podcast. If you love what you hear, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can also follow us on Instagram at straightnochaser.podcast.
Yes.
Did I do it right?
You did it great.
Oh shit! I did it. Success. Okay, so
I know those
This has
listeners going to
been-
wonder, why are they so subdued?
this is episode, I don't know, of season 2. We have had our mommies on the pod. And we are so happy that you have been with us along the journey. Mommies, maybe you aren't aware, but this is our second season. We've already completed 1 season. Please don't go and look for it. Just trust us when we say that it's been good stuff. And we are learning as we go. We're figuring it out as we go. We don't have the science necessarily 100% down, but we're trying our best. And we are just trying to share our perspectives on love and dating and just our experiences as women who are still learning and growing and trying to be good humans. I mean, Baha is I would say she's our trophy wife. She Baha,
Damn right.
you have figured it out, and the rest of us, we just trying to get.
Walking trophy.
We're trying. We're working on it. It's hard, but we're trying. And so a lot of our conversations are on the struggle.
Walk out, my girl, walk out.
We haven't had a song by you in a while.
I know.
We starting to show we colors.
Yeah, because it's the end.
We were doing so well.
And that's a wrap.